Today, we're diving into one of Islam's most divisive concepts, the term Kafir, used to label non-Muslims in the Quran. The word Kafir refers to those who don't accept Islam's version of God. Let's look at Surah 8:55. Indeed, the worst of living creatures in the sight of Allah are those who have disbelieved kafaru. The worst of creatures? That's not just a theological label, it's dehumanizing. Take Surah 9:28. O you who have believed, indeed the polytheists, mushrikun, a type of kafir, are unclean, najis. Unclean? Impure? These are billions of people, Hindus, Christians, atheists, you name it, branded as filthy for believing differently. And it gets harsher. Surah 98:6 says, disbelievers, kafaru, are the worst of creatures, those who will abide in the hell forever. This isn't just about rejecting a belief, it's a moral condemnation, painting non-Muslims as subhuman, destined for eternal torture. Why does the Quran use such extreme language? If Allah created everyone, as Muslims believe, why are non-Muslims singled out as vile? Let that sink in. The same God who supposedly made all of us calls most of us unclean or the worst. Does that sound like divine wisdom or a contradiction that demands questioning? If Allah is the creator of all humanity, as Islam claims, then he created kafirs too, people who follow other faiths or none at all. So why does Surah 9:28 call them unclean? If Allah made them, how can they be impure? It's a glaring contradiction. It means Allah made humans with flaws, then blames them for not being perfect. Doesn't that seem a bit strange? Think about it. No other major religion, Christianity, Hinduism, Buddhism, has a single term that brands outsiders as impure or subhuman. And let's talk about Surah 98:6 again. The worst of creatures. That's not just a warning, it's a value judgment. It's saying your neighbor, your co-worker, your friend who isn't Muslim is less than human in God's eyes. If you're a Muslim, does this align with your sense of fairness? How does it feel to be labeled this way by a major world religion? This isn't just theology, it's a worldview that shapes how people see each other. And when a sacred text calls billions of people impure, it risks fueling division, suspicion, even hatred. That's why this matters. Words like unclean and worst aren't just theological, they're personal. They judge your worth as a human being. Why should you care? Because words have power. Calling billions of people kafirs, impure, vile, the worst, creates an us versus them mentality. It's not just about belief. It's about dehumanizing entire groups. So, should the Quran be remodified to remove this filth? That's a tough question. On one hand, editing a sacred text is unthinkable for Muslims. It's the word of God. On the other, if we agree that calling people unclean for their beliefs is wrong, shouldn't we rethink it? If Allah created everyone, then labeling kafirs as impure is a contradiction that undermines the whole idea of a just God. A rational person might say, if God contradicts himself, maybe there is no God. And that's the risk Islam faces if it clings to this language. A text that divides humanity into clean and unclean isn't just outdated, it's dangerous. We're all human. We bleed the same, love the same, dream the same. Why should a 7th century text tell us otherwise? Here's my challenge to you. Think for yourself. If you're Muslim, ask yourself, does calling non-Muslims kafir and unclean feel right? If you're not Muslim, ask, why should you be labeled this way just for existing? And to everyone, should we keep excusing divisive language such as kafir as sacred, or is it time to demand better? Drop your thoughts in the comment. Let's get real. Because if we don't, we're just letting these words keep us divided. Let's keep questioning, keep pushing, and keep seeking truth, no matter how uncomfortable it is. See you next time.